And guys, I just got this video recommended to me and I wanna watch it because you know that we are excited for DC Dual Force. And yes, this video isn't about the game DC Dual Force, but it is about Batman, which is a character from DC, and it is Batman Beyond, which is like an alternate character. We know we are getting Batman, but we don't know if we are getting alternate versions of Batman, you know, and Batman Beyond is basically another character. We could have Batman Beyond. So they just recommended this to me, why villains are the key to Batman Beyond's success, and I wanna watch it. I'll be honest, when I read the title, I just read it like why villains are the key to Batman's success. I didn't read the Beyond part. And I thought, brother, it is true. The villains are the key to Batman's success. And yes, Batman is cool, Batman is awesome, Batman is the best fucking superhero, he's my favorite. But let's be honest, Batman would not be Batman without his iconic villains, you know, the Joker, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, all these people, Scarecrow and whatever, you can go for hours, the Riddler, whatever, Bane. So yes, brother, villains are key to Batman's success. So this interested me and I want to see what happens, brother.
Believe me about why I retired?
Not entirely, but tonight I'm glad you didn't stay retired.
A hero defined by his villains. Batman has one of the greatest rogues galleries in fiction, but you know who has a highly underrated list of
the greatest. Don't give me one of the greatest, the greatest.
One of the greatest rogues galleries in fiction. But you know who has a highly underrated list of antagonists? Batman Beyond. The show continually introduces new villains, new concepts, and new power sets to the world of Neo Gotham. However, it's actually how the show utilized villains and developed them over the course of the show that has cemented its longevity.
What the heck was that?
A new technique, Batman.
I'll be honest, guys, and maybe some people are going to be mad, but I have never watched a single episode of Batman Beyond because I always thought it was stupid because I want to see Bruce Wayne, not just some dude from the future, you know. And maybe I am missing out. Maybe I have to watch this show because maybe it is really good, and I am the idiot, you know.
Did you think I'd learned nothing from our previous encounters?
When development began for Batman Beyond, DCAU head honchos Bruce Timm had a single edict. This would be Terry's show. Bruce had his moment in the spotlight. He was Batman. Terry is Batman. And as such, he needed a rogues gallery of fitting ne'er-do-wells. Characters that had either a personal connection to the protagonist or characters.
That is a dude that has a funny meme, right? The green skeleton dude, but I don't remember the meme. But I know there is some weird meme that is featuring that guy.
That would push Terry in ways that he could never have imagined. While some of the initial villains Terry goes up against are fairly forgettable, it's when the show starts to bring characters back over and over again that it really finds its stride.
Batman saved us and the animals. Yeah, the guy's incredible, a real hero.
What I want is to change all that.
Initially, the show zeroes in on developing Derek Powers, aka Blight, as the central villain of Terry's world, a dastardly businessman who becomes irradiated and develops energy projection abilities. He's snide, scheming, and dastardly. However, he's really just poor man's Lex Luthor for the majority of his appearances. Despite being in almost all the initial 13 episodes of Season 1, Blight's big bad position was abandoned fairly quickly.
Now I suggest you leave. It's not healthy to be around me when I'm shedding.
The show pivoted into forming an overarching narrative about Terry struggling to maintain the balance of his secret identity, real-world responsibilities, and the ever-present call of justice. Characters like Shriek, Spellbinder, and Ink were developed and built out in ways that were atypical for a weekday animated show aimed at kids.
Bro, what is that? That is just disgusting, bro! What the fuck?
They were either given more sympathetic and complex character backdrops, or they were moved in darker and more homicidal directions. Episode 3 of the series, titled Blackout, sees the introduction of the aforementioned Ink, a freelance criminal for hire, in the mold of Catwoman. She has the ability to turn her body into a black, ink-like liquid. She almost instantly developed a cult following of fans. In her first appearance, she's a cold-hearted assassin and thief for hire.
I'll pay you whatever you want.
No wonder I like working for you.
However, as the show progresses, she's built out even further. Disappearing Ink.
Why do you need someone to pay you for anything if you have this ability? You just get whatever you want, right?
showcases just how destabilized the character has gotten from her first encounter with Batman. She's forced to accept assistance from a lovesick fan who wants to gain powers like hers. In both her first two appearances, we see that she's someone with a dark side, a manipulative side, and a keen brilliance. There aren't many villains that can say they figured out how to sneak into the Batcave, and Ink does it on her first run-in with Batman, and then goes head-to-head with both Terry and Bruce and nearly beats them. However, it's Ink's third appearance that gives her true depth. In Inkling, we learn that she has a daughter that she was forced to put up for adoption as a baby, and that all her corporate espionage was done in the name of making money to secretly send to her estranged offspring. This tragic backstory pulls the character back from being a heinous monster fueled by greed and repositions her as a single mother who's willing to do just about anything to support a child who will never know her name.
They told me my trust fund was an inheritance. I never thought I was living on stolen money.
But Ink isn't the only character that sees significant growth over the course of the show. The Beyond Baddie Walter Shreve, aka Shriek, is equally...
Brother, I thought it was a robot. Earlier when he showed this dude, I thought this was a robot, and it is a custom for a dude.
as compelling. Shriek was hired by Derek Powers to track down Bruce Wayne.
Everyone was hired by that dude, bro. Everyone is just an employee of that dude.
And push him to the breaking point, in an attempt to get Wayne to give up his shares of Wayne Powers. His sound-based powers proved to be both visually arresting and narratively compelling over the course of the show. It's pretty hard to take the concept of a sound engineer who becomes a supervillain and make it cool, but the Beyond team pushed his character to impressive heights, and in a quintessentially comics twist, in the finale of his debut episode, he suffers an accident and becomes deaf.
Get up.
No.
What the fuck, bro? That is
Shriek
fucked
is one of
up,
the
dude.
few villains that seems intelligent enough to really put Terry's Batman between a rock and a hard place. In Babel, episode 12 of season 2, he constructs a nearly unwinnable scenario for Terry where he uses a piece of technology that prevents everyone from understanding each other, thus spawning mass chaos across Neo-Gotham.
That suit of his was pretty powerful, but I don't see how it could have affected that much of the city.
Maybe he found some way to Pradish dash Pergrana.
What? You're not making Ursino.
He says that the only way he will return things to normal is if Terry hands himself over. This episode revolves around Terry having to make a choice that could potentially set a dangerous precedent and discredit the legacy of Batman forever. And it's only through Shriek's brilliance as a villain that this plot is facilitated.
This isn't how I wanted it. You were supposed to give yourself up to me.
You should have gotten it in writing.
Funny. See how funny you think this is?
First appearing
But if the dude is deaf, how is he listening to the other guy? Maybe because they are in the future, he did something to be able to hear, you know? Some science thing.
in the 10th episode of season 1, Spellbound, Ira Billings, aka Spellbinder, is a psychologist at Terry's high school who feels as though he's not remunerated properly for his efforts and thus takes to a life of crime. Utilizing hallucinogenic pieces of technology that he's developed, he starts stalking kids in the school and forcing them to hand over valuable items under the
So
duress of
basically, he is the scarecrow of the future.
nightmarish dream states. In his debut appearance, it's instantly apparent that Spellbinder is a favorite of the creative staff. The episode feels like a cut above the rest. The psychedelic visuals of Spellbinder's powers, the eerie dream sequences, and even just his costume design make the character instantly recognizable.
I don't get you, Doctor. You're supposed to be helping kids.
You want to be my therapist? Then here, get to know me.
In the 8th episode of Season 2, Hooked Up, he develops virtual reality technology that is highly addictive. He uses it to conscript children from the local high school to steal for him in order to continue
Bro, but this dude is targeting children. You can root for this guy. You could maybe see a thing with the other two villains, but this dude is messing up with kids, dude. This is fucked up.
using the machines. Spellbinder is an important player in the broader Batman Beyond universe because his stories always deal with the subconscious desires of both Bruce and Terry. However, in this episode, it's Max, Terry's best friend and confidant, that gets the most development. Her time in Spellbinder's machines showcases to the audience that she has a fractured home life and that all she wants is for her parents to love each other. And to push things even further, in Season 2, Episode 14, Eyewitness, we see Spellbinder manufacturing a scenario where multiple eyewitnesses believe that Batman killed an opponent in cold blood. Sure, everyone knew that the original Batman would never kill anyone, but Spellbinder exploits the fact that this new Batman is relatively untested and hasn't fully secured his place in the minds of Neo-Gothamites. Spellbinder is such a brilliant enemy that he's using Batman's shadowy folkloric persona against him.
You were so ready to believe
That is cool.
the worst.
That is cool for sure.
It was easy.
Lock him up.
Bruce Timm's edict that Beyond was Terry's show held true. For the most part. Yes, okay, they had a few episodes where they brought back old baddies like Mr. Freeze or Ra's al Ghul, but those were the exceptions that proved just how much new territory they were covering. They chose to create and develop original villains as opposed to revisiting the classic characters from Bruce's villains roster. And it paid off. The show blazed new ground by sticking to a specific design remit and then digging in further and further into it. The villains in Batman Beyond are just as complex, intricate, and exciting as the classic Batman villains. They're the reason why the show succeeded. And well,
I'll be honest, what the dude explained about their personalities and their goals and their powers and whatever, it was cool. But let's not kid ourselves here, guys. They are not as cool as Batman original villains. And I am not saying this because I am a boomer and because I like those villains or whatever. It is true. Just looking at them, are you telling me that these guys look at the drawings? Are they as cool as the Joker, as Mr. Freeze, as the Riddler, as Two-Face? No, they are not as cool as them, brother. Let's just be honest here. Let's not kid ourselves. But they are cool for sure. They are cool. And this video was from Nerdstalgic, brother. Thank you a lot for the video. It was really, really cool just taking a look because I didn't know these characters, because I didn't watch Batman Beyond. So the question is, will we see characters like this in the DC Dual Force game? Of course, we don't know. People like having alternate characters, you know, like, oh, we have a Batman, but we also have the Dark Knight Returns, and we have, I don't know, the Man-Bat and whatever. I'll be honest, maybe I am a boomer in there, but I don't like that. I just like having my one guy. This is the dude. Don't overcomplicate stuff. If you want something else, bring another dude, and that's it. Maybe I can tolerate Batman Beyond because in theory it is another dude, right? But I don't like this, like, give me 10 versions of Batman. And I understand that a lot of people like that, and I am the boomer. I understand that, bro. But maybe we can, bringing the villains would be cool. I would accept that for sure. This looks like the kid version. Marvel is introducing a lot of Spider-Man, brother. Yes, and I don't like it. I hate it. I have been ranting about the Spider-Ham for weeks. Since I knew that the Spider-Ham is coming to the game, I've been ranting about that. Why the fuck do I have a pig as a Spider-Man in my card game, brother? That is stupid. That breaks the immersion. It is just awful, brother. I hate it. I hate it with a passion, bro.